Okay, let's get it. It is Locked on LSU. Nope. It's not what this is. What's up, everybody? Good morning. I do too many shows. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock the Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need orthopedics, go to Brock. You need a roof, call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers, Premium Cars. Use code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, y'all. Busy day yesterday. Of course, we woke up to the news that Brian Kelly was suing LSU. We had a report at LouisianaSports.net yesterday furthering that. Couple things noteworthy. Was able to obtain LSU's Brian Kelly's counter offer to LSU's buyout settlement. So LSU offered 25. Brian Kelly's reps countered at 43 million. LSU countered at 30, and then the two sides walked away. And then also, we did publish this at LouisianaSports.net as well. In the bylaws, the Board of Supervisors bylaws, by the letter of the bylaw, Scott Woodward would have needed to get board approval to fire Brian Kelly because he makes more than $250,000. So my assumption here, and I'm working on this, but my assumption here, is that the board just historically rubber stamps whatever. So that's probably how it's always been done. But in this situation where you're trying to walk it back, the bylaws sort of work in LSU's favor. So, oh, and by the way, Nick Saban is the betting favorite to be the next LSU coach. How weird is that? Like, I mean, I get it. What everybody says, it's the same thing I believe. Like, come on, he's 74 and all this stuff. But, like, the odds makers have him as the betting favorite. I mean, it ain't me putting it out there. You know, I'm not the one sitting here telling you that. I'm not the one making this up. I'm not citing some anonymous source. I mean, they got him as the betting favorite. Must be something to it, at least some interest to it, some possibility. Anyway, all right, say some good mornings. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Hey, Scott, good morning. What should be a realistic expectation level of football coach LSU can hire? Well, I mean, I do believe that Lane Kiffin is their target, and I believe he would leave Ole Miss. I also believe he will have options, be it LSU or Florida or the New York Giants or whatever. He's going to have options. So I'm not saying he's coming to LSU. I'm not saying that. I don't know if he'll leave Ole Miss. After that, I think it gets really complicated because, like, you look at the rest of that list, right? And Brady makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, but I think there's more of a chance he becomes an NFL head coach. I think Clark Lee could be fascinating, but what happens if they make the playoff this year? You know, they're 2 wins away from making the playoff. They beat Tennessee, they're in the playoff. You want Clark Lee to be the coach? You might want to hope that they lose to Tennessee. Dan Lanning said he's not leaving. I've heard nothing about James Franklin. I would love John Summerall, but I'm hearing the same stuff, man. Old guard people saying, you can't hire the Tulane coach. Kenny Dillingham, I think would be really interesting. He's an Arizona State alum. He's kind of insisted he's not leaving. He lives next door to his sister, and his parents live 3 doors down, and yeah. So we'll see. Hey, Chris. Hope everyone had a good Veterans Day. Absolutely. Leon, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Survivors and Wars, good morning. Let's see. Although I think MVP is the better option, I think LSU has to consider the red shirt thing. But who's to say MVP will be around next year? That's a decision itself. I think Nuss should start. Hope no booze. Yeah, the red shirt piece of it is interesting. And I think, excuse me. I think if Van Buren has a chance to play the next 3 games, like he's going to play. I don't think they're sitting by passively waiting to redshirt him. I don't mind asking that question. If that's something that they've considered. But he's played in 3 games already. So he played against Southeastern, then A&M, Alabama. So he's played in 3 games. So he could play in 1 more and maintain the red shirt. So, I mean, Frank Wilson has his teleconference this morning at 10 a.m. I don't mind jumping on there and asking that question. Hey, Caleb, good morning. Have an awesome day. Casey, let's see. Oh, the code. Really? At Bocock? Oh, I'm glad you told me that. I need to follow up with them. That should absolutely work. The Matt 15 for 15% off your order should absolutely work at BocockBrothers.com. Thank you for the heads up on that, Casey. Someone told me Kelly was so bad he couldn't win the coin toss. Yeah, they lost 12 straight coin tosses. That was weird. Buff SpongeBob. Good morning, Matt. Would you prefer a G5 head coach like Summerall or Golish or top tier candidate like Schumann or Klein? Oh, top coordinator. Sorry. Of all the ones you mentioned there, Summerall would be my choice. Let's see. Would you be shocked if Saban won, especially given his attitude towards transfer portal and NIL? No. I think. Look, the last game Nick Saban coached at Alabama was a playoff game, a national semifinal in the Rose Bowl, where despite having Jalen Milroe as his quarterback and no offense, they were an errant snap in overtime away from going to the national championship game, where I am certain they would have beaten Washington handily. So I have no doubt that he will adapt and win because he's the best ever. It's just, does he want to? And it doesn't sound like he does. Is this your worst season you covered on and off the field combined? This feels worse than 20 in a different way. 20 and 21 were both atrocious. I mean, the 2020 football team was horrendous. Of course, Miles Brennan got hurt. You had young quarterbacks, the worst defense ever. You went 5-5, gave up a record passing to Mississippi State. Lost at Missouri. Got the brakes beaten off you by Alabama. 2020 was, and then 2021 they quit. They quit in 2021. I mean, the Kentucky game, the Ole Miss game, just gross. Now, I don't know that either of those seasons had the expectations that this season had. So that's maybe the difference. But, you mix in all the stuff with COVID in 2020 and just what was going on in the world, which, it's been 5 years now, which, hopefully never go back to that. It's hard maybe to put yourself back in that mindset, remember what it was like, social distancing and masking and, limited crowds. Those were awful. Let's see. Eli Drink comments about telling people to get out of the playoffs or get out of the playoffs or bust expectations, eliminate him from the LSU job. Yeah. I don't know. So I'll tell you this. I think Drinkwitz is someone who has come sort of highly recommended. Okay. But I'm with you. I just don't see. I think the financial hurdle there is the problem as well. I mean, he's making $9 million a year, so you're going to pay him $11 million. Eli Drinkwitz. Hey Juan, good morning. Where did you get the sweater you wore yesterday for Morning Scone? I have no idea. I don't know, Juan. We have a trunk in our bedroom, and I took all my winter stuff and like rolled them and shoved them in there, whenever the season was ending last year. And so I just had to open that up and grab them and put them on the last few days. It was that kind of blue one. I don't know where I got it though. Maybe Banana Republic? I don't know. Let's see. Saturday morning, I said Perk should rush the passer more. The times he did, forced missed throws, forced fumble. They kept putting him in coverage. I mean, he's playing nickel safety or a nickel Sam. Like, he's going to drop into coverage. That's a numbers thing based on what the opponent is doing. And it's a smart thing that every opponent is going to do, is that they're going to scheme him away from the line. So he's going to play coverage. You just hope it's a good matchup where he's against like a back or a tight end where instead of a receiver. Henry Bennett. Morning, Matt. It's a good thing Carolina Panthers showed up. Let's see. You're not dumb, but saying Nuss had a better passing season than Jaden is yards is one thing. TD interception, QBR yards per average. Understand the point. The point was, if you look at the single season passing yardage mark, Nussmeier's second behind Burrow. Like, sometimes, bro, you complicate the issue way too much. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're talking about passing yardage. Second greatest passing season in LSU history. Okay. That's objectively true. Burrow threw for 5,000 yards. Nussmeier threw for 4,000 yards. No one else has thrown for more than 3. This is an objective truth. Don't complicate the issue. I'm not saying he had a better season all around. Jaden won the Heisman. One of the greatest seasons we've ever seen. Don't complicate the issue. Billy Weeks, good morning, Matt. You busy? You being busy keeps me busy watching videos. Thanks to the hard work. You got it, man. Thank you for watching. I only do it because y'all watch. I knew the B8K thing was getting messy. Matt LaFleur may be available at season 10. Does LaFleur have college experience? I don't know. Matt LaFleur's getting fired, by the way. I don't know anything about the situation. Saginaw Valley State. Come on. This isn't working. Central Michigan, Northern Michigan, Ashland, then Texas. Yeah. He was at Notre Dame for a year in 2014. But he's must have been a pro coach.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Remember, y'all, if you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. They're the best. What? Yeah. I'm using my hotspot on my phone. Why? Yeah. Internet's down at the house this morning. Let's see. Patrick, good morning. Happy hump day. Grab yourself a cup of joe. Cheers, another blessed day. Amen to that. Hey, Ryan, good morning. How much do we take in these odds when you can't truly bet it? Who are the people putting these odds together? Like, that's a fair question. And so that's why I'm not, when we're talking about the odds for the coaches, I'm not saying take it to the bank. It's just an interesting conversation starter because all of those odds makers have information. They have people they talk to in different circles to try to put together those odds. And by the way, you can bet that at offshore sports books like Bet Online. You can't at places like DraftKings or FanDuel. But you can bet coaching odds at offshore sports books. Be fair, Matt, the Saban story sounds like a dream. It would be crazy for Saban to come back at his age, almost like it would be for 2 years. I think they would probably look at a 3 to 4 year deal if they did it. Again, I want to be clear. I don't think that's going to happen. But if you think I'm not going to talk about it when odds makers have him as the betting favorite to be the coach, like look at Florida. Lane Kiffin is the betting favorite to be at Florida. Florida fans are just assuming that they're already cleaning out the office, like getting ready for him. I mean, they're assuming it's already done. So you can't completely discredit that. It's not just plucked from the air. I mean, they're using their information to put those numbers out. Now, again, I don't think that's going to happen, but there's obviously a relationship with LSU's AD, Verge Osbury, Nick Saban, as Verge said on my show. I do think Nick could make an impulsive decision. Loves LSU, all that sort of stuff. And I think he could do a 3-year deal and come and have some type of transitional period to whoever he wants to be next. Christian, good morning. Does it feel like LSU has 3 games left? Good grief. Hey, Frank. Morning. My daughter drove herself to school yesterday, arrived safely. Panicked because she put the car in neutral instead of reverse. Oh, man. Let's be honest, Frank. We've all been there, right? We've all been there like, why am I not? Oh, it's in neutral. She just got that one out of the way early. Glad she arrived safely, man. That's great. Kelly Gross, good morning. And has a job interview at the Olive Garden Friday. The Olive Garden, which was lovely. That's awesome, man. Sounds great. Hey, Brad, good morning. Go Tigers. Stop it with the Saban BS. Leave football alone. How about the video? How about the video of Saban in the recliner with the blanket on his lap and Miss Terry's coming in there with the cake and she's like telling him to get up? How relatable. Was Brian Kelly the betting favorite to be the coach last time? I don't remember. I really don't remember. Jeffrey, morning, Scone. Wouldn't the G5 be better off with their own championship bracket? So, yes, that's been my contention forever, Jeffrey, that the Power 4 should have its championship and the Group of 5 should have its championship. The reason they won't is because of money. In participating in the Power 4 and the college football playoff, they have more revenue than they would be able to generate seemingly with their own playoff. And of course, in the postseason as well with the bowl games. So, and all the TV revenue share and all that sort of stuff. That's the problem. It's not a competitive balance issue. It is a money issue. The G5 or now G6 schools want to participate in the college football playoff in the bowl system because of money. That's it. No different than like the FCS. The FCS playoff is competitively balanced and fair and awesome that they do that, but there's no money in it. Like their TV deal is, I don't even know. See if I can find it real quick. The FCS playoff package is worth $115 million per year. The college football playoff is a 6-year, $7.8 billion contract. So basically 1.2 billion per year. So you're talking about 100 million to 1.2 billion from the FCS playoff to the college football playoff annually. Like, for them, for the G5, it's not about competitive balance or doing what's right or fair for the student athletes. It's about money. Chris, do you think LSU would be more open to Summerall now that this chaos has been going down? I don't know. Like, this thing, that Saban delusion, like, again, I'm not the one saying it. Like, Bet Online put out odds. They have Saban plus 200. Like, I'm not saying it. Like, what do you think I'm gonna see that and not talk about it? That's the crazy thing. Like, do you honestly think I would see that where odds makers have Nick Saban as the betting favorite, the odds on favorite to be the LSU coach? I'm just going to ignore it. Let me just not talk about that. Nah, just not talk about it. Bob, what's going on? Ray, good morning. Ray, former USC farmer, Seattle head coach Big Cat. What? Oh, did you mean Pete Carroll instead of Big Cat? Did you mean Pete Carroll? Oh, Pete Carroll's Raiders. Oh, he's coming now. He's the head coach of the NFL right now. If Saban comes to LSU for 5, sorry, I'm streaming today on the hotspot on my phone because the internet in the house is down. I don't know what's going on. So it's all just a little delayed. Hey, Drew, good morning. Thank you for the negotiation information. I always thought 38, 42 million gets the settlement executed. Yeah, so they're just far apart, man. If LSU stopped at 30 and Kelly counted at 43, that's just a big gap, man. But I'm going to say, again, I think Kelly is showing, like, I know we all want to side with LSU here, but Kelly coming down 20% off his number, that is negotiating in good faith. He's owed 54 million. He's like, I'll take 43. And so, well, I'll take 43. Yeah, but he's owed 54. I mean, he chopped his number $11 million. That is negotiating in good faith. That's trying to get a deal done. LSU completely and totally lowballed him. I don't blame them for doing that. It's probably what I would do. But how badly do you want to get a deal done? Brian J. Irish, let's see. Why would any elite coach leave a stable program for who has been proven to be mistrusted? Why deal with that drama? So you're talking about why would someone leave a stable program to go to LSU? Because Ed Ogeron and Les Miles won national championships at LSU. I mean, LSU had the greatest college football team of all time with Ed Ogeron as the head coach. The talent, the resources, it's unmatched. And I get it. You're judging by your avatar. You're a Notre Dame guy, which respect, but there's a reason Notre Dame hasn't won a championship in 40 years. I mean, you all keep thinking in terms of Newt Rockne and Frank Leahy and Dan Devine, and you haven't won a championship in 40 years, man. 40. You know what I mean? There's a reason. It's not It's not Brian Kelly's fault. Brian Kelly won more than any coach you've had in that 40-year span. It's because Northwest Indiana sucks and nobody wants to live there. And there's no talent in the state of Indiana. So you got to get on a plane to go recruit. That sucks. And you used to have an advantage because you were on NBC. And so guys could be on TV every week. Well, now literally everybody is on TV every week. There's a reason. Anyway. Roll Tide. Would Kiffin take an opportunity at the Giants over an opportunity at LSU? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm probably staying at Ole Miss. I mean, they're gonna pay him whatever he wants. They're giving him all the. This is interesting. I was having this conversation last night. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss right now. I'm gonna explore this a little bit. Probably do a segment on this today on AFR. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss feels like Nick Saban at LSU. I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I don't know that I really went deep dive into it. But Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss feels like Nick Saban at LSU. Can win there. Beloved. They'll give him whatever resources he needs. He's happy. His family's happy. All that stuff. And despite all that, Nick still left because he had to scratch that NFL itch. And I look at it with Kiffin at Ole Miss, and it feels the same. It's like he's talked about openly, like how he's in such a great spot in his life, like as a human being in his life. He was reconciled with his wife. His kids are happy. He's winning. You realize in the last 5 years, there's 3 programs in the SEC that have won 50 games: Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss. What? It's crazy. I mean, he's done an incredible job there. And could stay and could keep winning and building and all that sort of stuff. But I really think he wonders if he can actually win a championship there. And so it's a little bit of a grass is greener. And I always say actions speak louder than words. And he has had a extension on the table that is not signed, which tells you he's leaving his options open. And if you're leaving your options open, then you're not committed to the place you are. And so that's when it gets really complicated. So I don't know what he's going to do. Like, I don't know Lane Kiffin. I've interviewed him, but I don't know him. Like, I know people that know him well. And so I can get some secondhand information, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if he wants to go coach in the NFL. I don't know if he wants to stay in college and go to Florida or LSU, or if he wants to stay. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway. All right, 7:15. I got to go. Thanks for watching, y'all. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, our great sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube. We'll get them tagged on Facebook. They scroll at the bottom. So we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. Okay, Locked on LSU is live. Yes, I do talk about the Saban stuff, but I went deeper dive into Kiffin and then the rest of the list. I talk about Joe Brady, Clark Lee, Dan Lanning, John Summerall, Brent Key, Kenny Dillingham, Eli Drinkwitz, Marcus Freeman, the whole list. So that's today's Locked on LSU. It's live right now, wherever you get your podcast or on YouTube. Tell you all the time, I know a lot of people love to watch on YouTube, and thank you. It would be greatly helpful to me even if you watch on YouTube, thank you. Just please go subscribe to the audio podcast on iTunes or Spotify or whatever podcast app you use. If you just go subscribe to Locked on LSU, that'd be a huge help. So, all right, thanks. Y'all have an awesome day.